I'm Dr. Renee Mehrra. Thank you for
it's
joining Zooming with Renee. Today, my guest is a Michelin-starred celebrity chef, cookbook writer, filmmaker, humanitarian, and above all, a very good friend of mine, Vikas Khanna. And Vikas is right now in India shooting for MasterChef. So thank you, Vikas, for taking a little bit of your time. Barefoot Empress. It's a short documentary film produced, written, and directed by you, and the executive producer is Dr. Deepak Chopra, and you also have Doug Roland, who is an award-winning filmmaker, who is a producer as well. So first of all, congratulations. This is a great short documentary. I cried when I watched this film. I always cry when I watch a film. The Last Color did the same thing, very profound effect. And this one is Barefoot Empress, and I want to share with our viewers. It's a true story of a 96-year-old Katayani Amma from southern India, from Kerala. At 96, she becomes an epitome of beating the odds, dreaming big, and decides to join the first grade and start her education at 96. This is mind-blowing. And so tell me, Vikas, how did you meet up with Amma?
So in 2018, somebody tweeted to me, and in the tweet they said that, chef, you're always looking for interesting story, and we have a new student in the classroom who is 96 years old. And that totally broke my heart. It took me back to the time when I saw my grandmoms, both of them, who were not educated, never got an opportunity to go to school. I think that really took me back home when I said, oh my God, there are so many women in that generation who never got the opportunity. And even today, in many parts of the city, in many cities around India. So mujhe laga ki this is a very relevant story even today. And Katayani Amma is going to be a victory for the woman spirit, and I feel that her determination, everything. So I go to Chopra, which is a small town, 4 hours from Kochi. I go there and I fell in love with her.
Wow. I think I fell in love with her when I watched that film. The lady's 96. All she did was to sweep the temples in Kerala, and then she broke through the tradition. And at 96, she joined a classroom with first graders, who, 1/10 of her age. And initially, I know some kids were like making fun of her, but she stood her ground. And then I see a lot of kids, helping her out, and she's learning mathematics. It was like amazing how this lady dreamt big and decided, hey, I'm going to learn to educate myself. When you met her, what was your experience? Because it must have been a very profound, surreal moment for you.
Just for a small context, she only speaks Malayalam.
So
and
the language
there's a huge
barrier.
communication gap. Big language barrier. In the beginning, initially, yes. And because I've lived in South for a long time, so I have a certain sensibility to my ears for the basic terms. But after some time, Renee, I feel that barrier was not significant at all to me. I felt that her presence, her wisdom, her determination, her courage, she's a real life hero. And I think everything stood still when she spoke, because we knew it that she's talking about something which is massively from experience of life, from brokenness, from scars, from total humiliation, and living a life about disinheritance in so many ways. And somebody who's moved on and forgiven everyone and says, this is my moment, I want to live it. It's not too late. That was enough for me to think that consider this as a documentary. And we thought initially to make a 40 minutes documentary. But I felt that the impact was much more if it was just 14 minutes.
That's right. Less is more, and the impact is very, very deep and strong. And very, it just hits you. A 96-year-old woman from a rural area in Kerala can do this. she brings that feeling of nothing is impossible. Anytime if you put your head, heart, and soul, your mind, everything in it, she put her all in it. And actually, she got 98%.
Absolutely.
She got 98%, right?
She got 98%. And she told me, she's saying, I don't know why they cut my 2 marks. I did everything right.
Oh my God.
And there were certain resistances. One thing I observed in the psychology of making a film like this is that the kids in the first grades had no problem with her. They had no, at that age, you're not so judgmental. The society norms have not taken over your mind, right? But I felt that the kids in 7th grade or 5th grade also, they were extremely condescending. Sometimes I saw their remarks. I heard the way they spoke to her. They felt that she doesn't belong to school. But the first graders where she's studying, those kids are awesome. They were like, oh great, our great grandmom is here, literally. and she's like a kid. So I thought at that age your brain is not so not I wouldn't say polluted, it's not so programmed to understand what's beauty and what's great and what's not. At that age, you accept everything as the way it comes. And I thought that was an amazing judgment for me to understand how as humans, we get programmed and we have prejudices as we grow older, which was totally ingrained.
So true. And then, so you followed her in school, in the classroom, right?
It's almost a 4 years of journey of which was reduced to 14 minutes. There were also 2.5 years of pandemic in between.
Right.
And so we followed her. We just celebrated her 100th birthday. Wow. I went to show her the movie again. Then I went to present the book to her, which is right here. We went to present the book to her. So what we decided was that, every step, and I'm going back to her to show her the new poster. So I keep traveling back, so she gets energized, and one of the most beautiful people I've met in my life, and I feel very fortunate and blessed that I can bring her story to people like yourselves and to your audiences who might not have entry to that world. They might not even think that something like that can exist. So I feel very privileged and also responsible that I'm making people enter a new world in 14 minutes and tell you a story about an incredible hero.
Right. Amazing. And then tell me how you reached out to Doug and Dr. Deepak Chopra.
Of course, everything in movie making is a process, and everything has to have certain formation before you go to people. So I'm absolutely in love with Doug Roland. He is a dear friend, and his film Feeling Through totally broke my heart.
It's about a deaf and dumb person, and acted by a deaf and dumb person.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
An incredible film, and I was hosting Doug and his family in my house in New York, and I told his parents that your son has a gift of being a voice and the eyes and the vision of people who don't have one.
Yeah.
So I narrated the story to Doug, and we had a rough cut, but understanding that how Doug thinks about movies is totally different the way most of us. He has an extreme sensibility, so sensitive to certain parts. And of course, we had our own yeses and nos when we were editing the film. And so most of the music, most of the film editing all happened online, offline, LA and Mumbai and New York. And we are very proud that Doug coming on board, it just added such a different texture to the movie. Because he saw this from a whole different sensibility. And I'm very grateful. And then he's a new dad. So his baby girl, I think having a little baby child, like a girl child, his emotions towards Amma, and to feel that, an opportunity a woman got. And I feel that all added to the film's texture. And what you're seeing now is a result of me losing my sister and he having a little baby daughter, and Amma becoming our strong strength the way she is. And I think that is why you can see that the movie is emotional, but at the same time, it's very uplifting.
Yes, yes, it is. It is the courage, the hope, all this comes out, and you brought this out so beautifully with Doug. And then we have Dr. Deepak Chopra as the executive producer.
Dr. Deepak Chopra has been a great friend, supporter, one of the people I admire a lot in America. And I do feel with Dr. Deepak Chopra, one thing which is amazing is that once he connects with something, he really connects. And I took the film to their house, and we did a video chat with Doug, and I showed the movie to them. And his wife and him were totally blown away. And he posted about the film on his social media. Amazing response. And people don't know this kind of world can exist, right?
എൻ്റെ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളുടെ കൂടെ ഞാൻ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ ഇരിക്കുന്നതിന് യാതൊരു കുറച്ചിലും തോന്നുന്നില്ല.
പഠിപ്പിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു എല്ലാ രക്ഷകർത്താക്കൾക്കും അതൊരു പ്രചോദനമായി മാറട്ടെ എന്ന് ഞാൻ ആശംസിക്കുന്നു.
And we didn't dramatize the movie, which really helped us to connect to many Western audience, because nothing was dramatized. The story itself was so pure. And when we reached out to him that we need your support, once we started the campaigning for the Academy Awards, and his voice is so respectable in this country, and he's somebody who's spoken so organically about age, not defining you. And Amma is the perfect example.
Yeah. He always talks about the chronological age versus biological age, and how we can remain youthful and young through holistic traditional medicine. And here we have Deepak Chopra. So you're bringing a new world and creating a space for so many people to have their hopes fulfilled just by watching this film. The name Barefoot Empress has such a deep connotation to it. And I'm sure this bond that you have created with Amma is going to stay forever, because it seems like a very sacred bond.
Absolutely. I think Amma represents a generation of women.
Right.
When you look at these women, they've been silent in the families and homes, but they were the most intelligent, wisest. But they became the foundation of the way we were raised.
Yeah.
So, we became the support system. And I feel that for Amma, and being so closely in touch with her for almost 4 years, I've become a part of her support system and the way she is to me. And I just love just being there, sitting just on a bed, and she telling me stories which I do not understand most of them, and me telling her stories which she does not understand most of them, and me telling her that how the screenings are going on around the world and how people are respecting her and inspiring figure she has become for all of us. I hope she understands. I really hope that she understands that her position for us is totally different. It's almost like being on a position of a goddess who is a guide for us.
Yes. She's like everybody's grandma, great grandma.
Yeah, the most intelligent in the family, actually.
Yes, exactly. Very wise, very wise. So they're learning from
They understood economics, they understood politics. Yeah. They understood politics. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then I believe the movie has been submitted for the Oscars.
It's eligible for the Oscars right now.
Okay, that's great. We wish you all the very best for that. Seeds from this film are going to Leap to Shine, which is a non-profit organization, and that helps the underserved girls in rural India and helps to make resilient societies. When you have a girl child that's educated, you are making economies that are stronger. You are reducing inequalities. So it's a great effort to bring more rural literacy in women.
So Leap to Shine is our partners. They are doing something incredible, creating next generation leaders. We also have Global Fund for Widows, where Heather Ibrahim and she is doing empowerment for widows, because I feel that's a very important mission close to my heart and hers, and we are totally connected and bonded.
I want to share with our viewers that Barefoot Empress won the coveted Biogen Award, Make Impossible Possible, in Tokyo at the Short Film Festival in Asia in June of this year. Thank you very much, Vikas, for taking your time off your hectic schedule, and wishing you all the very best with Barefoot Empress and many, many more awards to follow. I'm Dr. Renee Mehrra. Stay healthy, stay positive.
I can't hear
and wish
anything.
you all the very best.